Powell stepping down? Nah, he's staying put.
Told you, Powell's not going anywhere.
Is a meal. The melty ciabatta dippers so delicious they have you dipping in so way. The fan favorite ciabatta dippers are back. It just feels good at Panera.
is series by series, it became evident throughout this postseason that was still here with us. And just championship battle, where did you see it most from this Dodgers squad?
Well, you see it in their starting rotation, their pitchers. And there was a little bump in the road somewhat when earlier in the series, the Blue Jays were out pitching them to some degree when you talk about the starters. Blake Snell was kind of struggling. Yamamoto to this, and they came back around now in Game 7 where everybody contributed from that rotation. So they became their own relievers, and that really separated them from the Blue Jays.
Talk about Yamamoto. We said it a couple times there. Pitched in Game 6, and yet comes back in Game 7 and does what he does. Put into context Yoshinobu Yamamoto is doing in this postseason, and just in terms of pitching.
I mean, first of all, you talk about next level where you have to go higher than that. I mean, it's the command, it's the calm, it's the fact that he threw 96 pitches yesterday and came back and then closes this game out. I mean, mastery, didn't lose any velocity within the day. It was painting, control. That's almost impossible to do back to
Every bit of the arsenal was available.
every day.
And he became just the second pitcher. I want to make sure I get this right. Second pitcher in his 50 years to win 3 World Series games in 1 World Series. But specifically to Will Smith, him stepping on it on the top of the 11th gives the Dodgers the lead with that solo shot. What did you see him seeing there?
Well, Will Smith is highly underrated in some respects, right? 3-time All-Star all year. He's hit a lot in the middle of the order. You hear about Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman. Well, Will Smith has been carrying the team earlier in the season, so it's not shocking that he has this kind of pop, but he got hot. Sometimes when he gets in that pull mode, he's got the power to go with it.
And he played the hero when it counted tonight with that big, decisive homer. This is new on SportsCenter. Will Smith, World Series hero, speaks.
Will Smith described that incredible Game 7.
That was awesome. That was the epitome of this series. Just 2 really good teams. That's a really good Blue Jays team, man. It's a really good offense. They pitched really well. It was going to be a fight. We knew that. And then, 7 games, 18-inning game in Game 3, extra innings this game. That was just a fight. And couldn't be more proud of this group of guys.
What you see in Miguel Rojas tying the game with a home run.
Yeah, that was huge. Obviously, down a run. That was incredible. We were so fired up. We needed a little spark there. Obviously, he got it done, and that was great. That was awesome. He's battling.
All right, you came to the plate against Bieber. What was your thought?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a pitch to hit. Luckily, I snuck over the wall there and put us up a run. I was fired up after that. That was awesome.
Everyone was pitching in. Yamamoto today, the day after he pitches in Game 6. What'd you see in him?
Man, he's the MVP of this series. That was special what he did. The 2 starts, complete game. Pitching yesterday, 6 innings, coming out today. I told him yesterday he needed 1 for us to win today. He gave us 3. That's just pure fight out of him, pure grit. That's who he is. He's just a fighter. Good, he's one of the best pitchers on the planet, and he showed it.
Last one, you're the first team in 25 years to go back-to-back. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's a lot of hard work the last 2 years. Last year's team was special. That run to win it was amazing. We came in with the goal this year to repeat. We did it. We finally achieved that goal.
Side of Toronto, where there is a likely stunned Rogers Center, and we have the pleasure of being joined by one Tim Kurkjian here on SportsCenter. Tim, this is your 44th World Series, 26th Game 7. Where do you rank this World Series in all of the fall classics that you've had the absolute pleasure of covering?
Right. This is the greatest World Series that I have ever covered. Game 3 was unbelievably good. The 9th inning of Game 6 was something that nobody's ever seen before. And tonight, we got the 6th extra inning game in a Game 7. This is one of the greatest Game 7s ever played. This series was unbelievably good from the beginning to the end, and just all the storylines that we saw were just incredible. The Blue Jays played so well, and yet the Dodgers still found a way to win this game. This is why baseball is the greatest game ever, and there is nothing in sports better than baseball in October.
It feels like you can witness history each and every time you enter a ballpark. You certainly have this evening with Yoshinobu Yamamoto's performance, winning both Games 6 and 7 in this series. When you watch what he pulled off in this one, how would you characterize his performance?
Well, this is one of the greatest single postseason performances by a pitcher in the history of the game. He won 3 games in the World Series. He won Game 6, and then he won Game 7. He's only the 4th pitcher ever to win 6 and 7, first since Randy Johnson in 2001. He threw 96 pitches in Game 6, and then came back 2 2/3 scoreless and threw 34 pitches. This guy is an alien when it comes to jabber games. He does a stretching routine that nobody else can do. He is a one-of-a-kind sort of pitcher, and he's one of the greatest pitchers in baseball, and boy did he show it in tonight, and especially in the entire World Series.
3 games won, we mentioned it, and now has become the first pitcher since 2019 to win World Series MVP. So your point, well taken, Tim Kurkjian, when it comes to what he has done from a historical basis. To go back to the other element of this win, Will Smith hitting that home run at the top of the 11th to take the lead. When that crack of the bat occurs, what goes through your mind?
Do you want to see how fast I can earn crypto with a Gemini credit card? All right, let's go to McDonald's. Hello, can I get a number 3 with triple pickles and a Diet Coke? Medium fry, yes. Thank you. The cool part is the Bitcoin's going to be in my account before the food even arrives. There you go. Invest as you spend with a Gemini credit card.
Here we go again. It's nacho night with a side of gas.
Typhoon Tino, also known as Kalmagi, is nearing landfall, and over the course of the next few hours, this is already coming on shore here, likely to pass over a few of the smaller islands before coming on shore into central Leyte, more than likely here just south of MacArthur. In fact, just take a look at the microwave imagery. You can see our eye wall wrapping up, and in the infrared you really can't see through those upper level cirrus clouds, but the microwave, you peer through that, kind of see where exactly this is headed off here towards the west. And this is why the Dinica Islands, southern Leyte, all under a signal force 4, because that's kind of where the eye wall is up here, and even northern areas of Bohol, Cebu under signal force 3. Hopefully by the time it gets to you, it does start to weaken just a bit here, and you're going to see more of a severe tropical storm force winds. But you know, even Bagasta does carry it as a typhoon all across Visayas and over towards northern Palawan before heading off there towards Vietnam. And then a similar towards JTWC has it at 80 knots, still at about 85 knots, so about a Cat 2 as it passes on shore there into Leyte, and then moving further off towards the west. But it's really all about that core, or that inner core of the winds. That